Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have a story here involving salmon and sturgeon, and it's all a bit fishy. Because it's all to do, of course, with the A9 and the duelling and all the costs and all the planning and all the delays and all the possible fraud. Because it seems that an awful lot of money's been spent, very little to show for it, and a lot of people are very angry about it. Not least of which, of course, Fergus Ewing. So there is now an A9 inquiry, and we know that these two reprobates, Sturgeon and Salmond, will be called to give evidence, although you have to wonder if they can remember anything. We all know Nicola, famous for her terrible memory. And we also want to know where all the money went and show the receipts, because you can guarantee there'll be a lot of missing receipts, because some of it will have undoubtedly ended up in little brown envelopes, you know, going into the back pockets of various people up and down the entire country. But we'll take a look at this article to see who's done what to whom, when they can be expected to speak, and whether it's actually worth listening, because you know it's all going to be deflection, lies, I can't remembers, and who can possibly tell after all this time. But still, if it makes them feel uncomfortable, good job. Let's have a look. Now, this was just in today's Holyrood magazine. It's literally not that long ago it came out. So I thought, well, we'll do this one straight away because it's, to me anyway, and hopefully, of course, to you, dear viewer, interesting. So if it is, do please hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button. That always helps. Anyway, salmon and sturgeon to be grilled on A9 duelling delays. When you're talking about grilling salmon and sturgeon, you're thinking it's a barbecue, but apparently not. Former First Ministers, Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon, have been called up to answer questions on why the Scottish Government's long-held plans to duel the A9 have not come to fruition. Now, millions upon millions have been spent, and they've only duelled about 11 miles of it. And it is all saying, oh, well, we've got planning this and planning that. We haven't got this. Now, I've been in construction for 35 years. Let me tell you, I'd have had it built by now. Finished, completed, done. For half the cost, half the time. And cars will be up and down and going, oh, what an excellent road this truly is. And why? Because I'd have told the politicians, keep your big noses out, just pay the bills and shut up. Anyway, last year's Parliament's Citizen Participation and Public Petitions Committee began considering a petition lodged by road safety campaigner Laura Hansler that called on the government to fulfil its 2011 promise to fully duel the road between Perth and Inverness by 2025. Not going, of course, to happen. There's not enough time. A total of 11 miles of roadway have been upgraded over the past decade, with around 80 miles still to go. Now, calculating that rate of advance, it's going to be the 22nd century before it's finished. The Scottish Government last year conceded the original timetable could not be met, with work now not expected to be complete until after 2035. I wouldn't hold your breath on that one either. The petition also asked the government to consider creating a national memorial fund to those who have lost their lives on the road, which is a number that is increasingly growing on a daily basis. This switches from dual to single carriageway a number of times and is known as an accident black spot. Well over 300 people have died on the road since 1979. As part of the evidence gathering sessions, the Public Petition Committee will hear from Salmond on May the 8th, VE Day, isn't it? And Sturgeon on the 29th of May. The former was the head of the Scottish Government at the time the duelling commitment was made, and the latter was the First Minister between 2014 and last year, when she was finally found out and decided to run before she was pushed. Convener Jackson Carlaw said the fundamental... Sorry, I misread that. Committee convener Jackson Carlaw said the evidence sessions would be focusing on getting to the bottom of fundamental unanswered questions about why the duelling project was allowed to fall so far behind schedule. And, of course, they want to know why so much over budget. If you've only got 11 miles done and yet the price has quadrupled, you know somebody is doing something illegal, somebody is taking backhanders, somebody is padding the bills. And I suspect more than one somebody. I suspect lots of somebodies. During the course of our 8-9 duelling inquiry, he said there has been a number of further serious injuries and fatalities on the road. Every one of them is an unmitigated tragedy. When we launched our call for views at the start of this inquiry, it was clear that the top priorities for those who use and rely on the road are completing the promised duelling and improving road safety in the meantime. Like I say, don't hold your breath. This is a road that's taken, so long, so much money, so much time to get so little done. And you have to ask, why? What possible reason does it take to get this done and take so long? Now, the only possible reason is constant, unerring political interference. Rather than saying, just get on and do it, and we'll stand back, it's micromanaging every aspect. Having taken evidence from a wide range of stakeholders and the previous transport ministers, there are still fundamental unanswered questions around why the A9 duelling project was allowed to fall so far behind the originally promised completion date, and where the responsibility for that failure lies. Ultimately, Nicola Sturgeon. She was in charge for so long during the main build phase that got the 11 miles built. It's down to her not doing her job properly. As former First Ministers Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon can hopefully shed some light on the governance and decision-making processes at the very top of government during their time in office, and help the committee to understand what needs to change to ensure there will be no backsliding on the new 2035 anticipated completion date. I tell you, it will not be finished in 2035, and I'll take any book on that. You tell me how much you want to bet with me that it will complete by 2035, and I'll match it. I'll even give you 2-1. I'm that confident. Last year, former MSP Alex Neil, who was the infrastructure secretary at the time of the duelling plan was announced, accused the government of having gobsmacking lack of ambition on roads. And while cost has been used as a reason for the delays, he said the project was fully costed from the outset, but that the overall price would rise by £1 billion due to ongoing delays. That's £1 billion that could have been saved if they'd already built the road. And now they've just wanked away another £1 billion, and you have to ask, what would that do for education, health, infrastructure, communications, transport? What would it do? Do a damn sight more than just paying civil servants to sit around in their fat asses doing nothing about a road that is desperately needed. Coming up. Now, we all know, it's shameful, it's wasteful, it's another example of ineptitude, of inability of people in government just not being bothered. But here's the thing. Is any of you surprised? Because I'm not. I ceased being surprised at this sort of stuff an awful long time ago. I find it sad, I find it reprehensible, but I don't find it surprising. 2045 is my best guess, by the way. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.